Alright, my friends, today we are going to talk about something fun. It is area and perimeter. So we're going to jump into more of the geometry side of things since we've done a lot of algebra lately. So area and perimeter. The first thing we're going to talk about is perimeter. So let's go ahead and write a short definition. Perimeter is the sum. We will remember that sum means addition of the lengths of the sides. Okay, the sum of the lengths of the sides of some shape. We're going to look at mostly 4 different shapes today, 4 basic shapes, very basic. The first one is the parallelogram. Oh my. Parallelogram. The next one is the triangle and the square. And then we're going to talk about the circle in just a minute. So parallelogram basically just means a rectangle or anything that has 4 sides, not including a square. So first one is parallelogram. So let's say we have side A, side B, and side B. The B's are the same and the A's are the same. Here, the perimeter would be A plus B plus B. Or we can combine the A's and the B's to be 2A plus 2B. Both of them are correct, but the bottom one is the one we normally go with. So that's the formula for a parallelogram. The formula for a triangle is, so there's our triangle. Let's say we have side A, side B, and side C, because remember, triangles, we'll just say all of them have a different length. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. So let's say there's our triangle. The perimeter of a triangle is just A plus B plus C. Easy peasy. And that is the only formula, so I'm going to highlight it because that's the only one that we have. And last but not least is a square. I'm going to see if I can do a good square. That's pretty good. Here, all of the sides are the same length, remember? So I'm just going to put S, 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 because all of the sides are the same. Here, if we add all the sides up, S plus S plus S plus S, we can combine these as well since there are 4 S's. 4 times S. This is the more well-known formula. So since I made 2 formulas for some of them, I highlighted the most common one. I'm pretty sure this is a review for most of you because we learned about area and perimeter a long time ago. So I'm going to move a little bit on to circles. So first thing you need to know is the perimeter of a circle is called its circumference. Sound familiar? Circumference. So here, let me draw a good circle here. There are 2 very special parts of a circle. One of them is called the radius, and one of them is called the diameter. The diameter is a line, that goes all the way across, cuts it right in half. I'm going to put D for diameter. Then the radius actually only goes from the middle out. So that is the radius. So D stands for diameter, and R stands for radius. Circumference has a formula for diameter, and it has a formula for radius. The one for diameter is pi times D, and the one for radius is 2 pi r. This is the most common one, 2 pi r. However, the pi d can work as well. It just depends. So let's go ahead and do some examples. Example 1. Here we have a shape. Kind of have a circle on top, half of a circle, and then a square underneath. Alrighty. And all the sides of the square are the same. I'm going to draw some little tick marks, and they are 7.4 inches. 7.4 inches, 7.4, 7.4. So let's label these shapes. This shape is a semicircle because it is half of a circle. And this one is just a normal old square. So let's find the perimeter around this whole thing. Perimeter is we have a square plus a semicircle. Alright, so the perimeter for a square, let's go back up, is 4 times S. However, let's look at what we're actually measuring. Side 1 on the outside, side 2 on the outside, and side 3 on the outside. We don't need that 4th side. So we're only going to say 3S. Then we have half of a circle. And here we have the diameter, which is all the way across, not the radius. So we're going to use pi times d, and we only have half, so it's going to be actually half pi times d. So since perimeter is just the outside, we don't do that middle one, we just do the outside. And let's go ahead and plug it in. So 3 times, the sides were 7.4, plus 1/2 pi times, again, 7.4. We can do this in our calculator. 3 times 7.4 is 22.2, plus 1/2 times pi times 7.4 is 11.6. And if we add those together, the total is 33.8 inches. Okay, not bad. The next one is a little bit of a word problem. It says the length of a rectangle, is twice its width. If perimeter is, hold on, I forgot. Let me check. If perimeter is 60 inches, find the dimensions of the rectangle. All right, so here's our rectangle. Perimeter is 60, all the way around, 60 inches. So here's the width, and then it said the length is twice the width. So the length is twice the width. Remember, twice means times 2. So that's why I said L equals 2W. So perimeter for a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. That is the formula. So we're going to plug in what we know. Perimeter is 60, so instead of P, write 60. 2 times L is actually twice the width. So instead of L, I'm going to write twice the width. And then just plus 2W again. because W is just W. And now we get to solve for W. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then we combine together. 4W plus 2W is 6W. Divide by 6, divide by 6, and W equals 10. However, they want us to find all the dimensions. So how are we going to find the length? Well, the length is 2 times the width. So all we need to do to find the length is do 2 times 10. And that would give us 20. So the length is 20 and the width is 10. All right, that is perimeter. Let us move on to area, shall we? Remember, you can pause at any time if I'm going too fast. Area is the amount of space inside a shape. All right, and we're going to have the same 3 shapes. Parallelogram / square. We can join these two together this time. A triangle and a circle. I'm going to draw all my shapes here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, there are all my beautiful shapes. So, first, for a rectangle or a square, area equals base times height. So, the base is just the bottom part, and the height is how tall it is. I usually like to do height with a dotted line like that. Base times height, easy enough. An area of a triangle is half base times height. So again, the base is simply the bottom, and the height from the top right down to the bottom. Remember, for a circle, the radius goes from the middle out. So that's the radius. And the formula for this one is area equals pi r squared. All right, I'm going to highlight all these 3 because they are very important. And we're going to move on to our last example. I'm sure these are easy for you because you've done them your whole life. We're going to use this same shape from example 1, actually. The semicircle with the square underneath. Same dimensions, 7.4 everywhere. 7.4, 7.4, 7.4, and 7.4. And this is in inches. All right, this time we're doing area. So A equals, we have a square plus a semicircle. So let's substitute the formulas. Area of a square is base times height, plus a full circle is pi r squared, but half of a circle would be 1/2 pi r squared. Okay, let's fill it in. Base, 7.4. Height, 7.4. Plus 1/2 pi times r squared. All right, remember, the 7.4 is the diameter of this. We just want from the middle out. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop 7.4 right in half. And 7.4 in half is actually 3.7. So the radius is 3.7. Remember, it's very important to determine if you're working with the diameter or the radius because you want to make sure you're using the right number. And our total, let's see, 7.4 times 7.4 is 54.76. And 1/2 pi times 3.7 squared, 21.50. So if we add those two areas together, we get 76.26 inches squared. And that, my friends, is perimeter and area.